welcome to the Cowboy Cut. Today I'm thrilled to be joined by Australia's own Max Jackson. Very exciting. Hey. From growing up in, how do you say your hometown? Coonamble. To topping charts and winning golden guitars, Max is taking Australian country music by storm. Max, welcome to the Cowboy Cut.
Oh, thank you so much, Liv. I'm so excited to be here to see you off my phone screen in real life, and to prove that we actually are real people is really special.
It's always special because they're like, I see you on TikTok. I didn't know you were real. I was like, baby, I'm real.
I know.
In the flesh.
It's so weird, the rumors that can go around about people going like, oh, I thought you were just AI.
Oh my God. People said that to you?
No.
Okay. They're gonna eventually.
No, people do get really funny. I feel there's like an interesting thing about sort of being somebody whose face is on people's screens a lot. When they meet you, they're like, oh, this is so weird that I'm actually talking to you.
Yeah.
And this is happening.
You're a real guy.
It's exciting. And I love your tattoo, your boot tattoo.
Thank you very much.
Does everybody comment on that?
Everyone loves the boot tattoo. It was actually my very first tattoo, right? Like 2 months after I turned 18, I knew exactly what I wanted.
Of course.
And I feel like 18-year-old me did a pretty good job.
I honestly feel like a lot of people would regret their 18-year-old tattoo, but yours is cool.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, and I remember going home, and I feel like the shoulder was like a I feel like often people get tattoos, like first ones, like on their wrist.
It was brave.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of a little bit different. And then I got home, I was like, oh my God, it's so big. I remember standing in the mirror like, oh, I'm cooked for life. But it's not that big.
I hate boots in 10 years' time?
Exactly. Honestly, like looking around, I don't really think that's going to be
it's never going to be a problem.
But thank you very much. Do you have any tattoos?
I do. I've got like a bunch of like small ones. I need to take my jumper off. I actually have like a shoulder one.
Oh, you also have a shoulder
one. It's just like writing, but it says rain and then it's a less than symbol and then rainbow. So it's sort of like the Dolly Parton quote. I don't know the exact wording, but it's like if you want the rainbow, sometimes you got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, love it.
That sort of thing. I've got like a little star here. I've got a little heart, which is like a ruby, which is my birthstone.
Cute.
And then I've got a little song girl written on the side of my wrist. So
I love that.
I like this one because like when I sit my arm on my guitar, it's like on, you can see it. Which you sort of have similar positioning. Like we chose the same.
Yeah.
We actually chose all the same spots.
Yeah, and I also have a star on my ankle, which is
cool.
Kind of fun. We're kind of like the same guy.
I'm really connected with stars. Like that's one of my main things. So my star has like it's sort of like a galaxy in it with like a rainbow.
Pretty.
And ever since I was like really young, my mum and dad said that, you know, if people are past or, you know, people that we talk about that aren't here anymore, that they're sort of like the brightest star in the sky.
I love that.
So I've always done that. And then I guess, you know, as my life's gotten like busier and I go away a lot, I always think, if I can see the stars and my family can see the stars, it doesn't feel like we're as far away from each other. Like it feels like a connection point. So, and I'm a dreamer, so I love my stars.
Oh, I love that so much. I am so obsessed with like space. Like it goes country music, space. I just love space.
That's cool. I like that. And my husband loves space and I love country music. So we would all have a great conversation.
Oh my gosh, dude, we all got to hang out sometime.
He sometimes tries to tell me like specific, you know, findings that are happening, you know, with the universe and things at the moment. And then sometimes it's so much for my brain to take on that he secretly films me while he's telling me just to film my reaction.
That's
of like,
so cute.
That is so much for my brain to take in right now. How could it have traveled 70,000, and that's not right, but 70,000 light years in I don't even know.
Yeah, big numbers. I can't count that high. Doesn't matter.
I saw a TikTok the other day that said, don't ask me a maths question. I left that behind in school.
I dropped out of math and I never went back. I was like, I'm going to art school. Catch you later.
That's me.
100%. Yeah, once it gets like past like 4 digits, I'm like, you lost me.
Too much.
You lost me.
Honestly, I only think in like song lengths.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we got 3 minutes. Okay, maybe we're gonna another 30 seconds, and like just up in the air. I love that so much. Well, speaking of songs, great segue. Thank you. you are kind of in the middle of your Little More Country tour. I want to hear a little bit about that. How exciting.
Oh, it's so exciting to be on my first ever headlining tour. I cannot even get enough of, like, my favorite moment is every town that we get to go to, walking out on stage, seeing the faces of people that I've been, you know, connecting with online and sort of have been messaging me saying, like, can you come to our town? And then we finally land in their town and we walk out and I see their faces, and there's just so much connection in the room. And I've been really lucky over the last few years to be an opening act for a lot of amazing artists, and particularly the Wolf Brothers took me on tour with them for like a year and a half. But then, you know, obviously I made so many new friends through their tours and got to go to so many places, and then sort of stepping into my own shows has just been so cool as well, like very different vibes. But I just love meeting people who connect with my music in any way, shape or form. And always my favorite part is like the after, the meet and greet lines. And you know, sometimes like I want to put them before the show because I get so excited just to talk to people and meet them. So that's definitely my favorite part.
That is so cool. And so you're going to a bunch of new towns that you haven't been to before. Is there a favorite place so far that you've been on this particular tour?
That's a really good question. I mean, where did we go recently? I think probably like my favorite place that I've played, as in like the coolest place I feel like that I've visited over the last couple of years has been Broome.
Cool.
I feel like Broome was just insanely beautiful, and like I've never seen dirt so red and an ocean so blue and the sun setting into the water. I just feel like I'd never really sort of spent much time on the other side of Australia. So Broome was like really special. We actually played a festival there. It wasn't part of the tour, but that's definitely like a memorable place that we visited. But I just want to get to as many towns as possible. So if anyone's listening and watching and you want us to come to your town, like we can't know. I feel like that's a big thing that I always remind people, like if you want us to come, please message me on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are, and also include the venue that you want us to play at, because sometimes it can be so hard, you know, if I've never been to a town, I don't know where people want to go. So it's really cool if I love when people message me out of the blue and say, come to this town, play at this venue, and I'll be there. Like, that's great.
Absolutely. Oh, that is so cool. I remember going to the western part of Australia for the first time and seeing that exact sunset with the red dirt, with the blue ocean on the, it was just like unreal. So beautiful.
I just didn't even know that I was going to think it was so amazing until I went. And I was so lucky I just had this opportunity to play at a festival. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I think I need to come back here for a holiday. And get in a van or something and just drive and stay by the water. And I don't know, it feels like a very, very special connection that I made with a place that I spent like 2 days in that I can't wait to revisit.
Oh, that is so cool. You mentioned that the meet and greet is probably your favorite part of touring, but when you're performing live and you're on that stage and you're in the thick of it, what is your favorite part of that? Like, what brings you the most joy?
The fun of it. Like, I just love getting the crowd to, you know, sing along or clap along or do whatever chanty thing it is that we're doing. Like, I love the connection of the people in the crowd and us in the band. Sometimes I will like split the crowd in half and like say Jeremy will be playing guitar on this side and I'll be like, you're on Jeremy's team, and then Jono, my bass player, will be here. I'm like, you're on Jono's team. And then like it's like a big, I always say to the crowd is like, if you come to one of my shows, you're not ever gonna like hear the best singer in the world. You're not ever gonna, you know, hear the best me playing guitar and be like the best guitarist in the world, but you're absolutely gonna have so much fun and enjoy yourself and hopefully forget about the rest of your life for that night.
And those experiences are so important, of like leaving your house and finding so much joy and like being in a community, and especially like going out to places where people have specifically asked you to come to, like and in smaller towns, like the sense of community is exponentially stronger, and just like playing with that, I bet that's amazing.
Oh, it is. And, you know, coming from a small town myself, like I know how important music is in small communities, and I know how few and far between shows are. So I think, you know, I'm just as excited as people are in the town to have us come. I'm just as excited to be able to bring that energy to the town. Like recently, you know, you mentioned my hometown, and we got to do a big street party concert that was myself, the Wolf Brothers, and Lee Kernaghan, and some local bands. And that was like really insanely cool for me. There was like a stage in the main street of our little tiny town. Like,
so cool.
Yeah, just things like that. And I feel like that music is what obviously uplifts people in general.
Yeah.
But I think when people don't get to see live music very often, there's this like euphoria that you can't explain in small towns and small communities when a festival rolls through or a show rolls through. So I love being a part of that.
That is so cool. And you grew up, one more time, how do you say the name of your town?
Coonamble.
Coonamble.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. I probably should have Googled that before.
No, you don't need to.
That is so cool. So tell me a little bit about your hometown and growing up there. What was that like?
It was just really, like, I feel like it just was every small town, like, you know, kid's life, which was a whole lot of just knowing everybody. I feel like we just were, so I have a sister, her name's Jordan, and we just grew up. Everybody knew us. We knew everybody. We were so comfortable in, you know, our community and who we were as kids. I think that's like a really big part of what inspired me to want to do music, because I felt comfortable enough to give it a go, because I mean, everyone knew you anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, everyone's your friend and is going to support you even if you flop.
Exactly.
Like,
And I mean, to this day, my hometown community just have supported me so much. Like, I'm always in the paper and they're always supporting every win that we have. And when I won golden guitars, I took them out and I took them to the pub, and everyone who was at the pub jumped in a photo and, you know, things like that. Like, that's what the community is like. And my parents, I always say it's like everyone in small communities, and this is obviously everywhere in the world, but everyone's famous for something. So like my mum is a hairdresser, and so she knew everyone, and she's like hairdresser / counselor, because she's always like dealing with everyone's problems and like life stuff that they've got going on. And I always say my dad, you know, was the life of the party, and we just loved our lives. Like, my grandparents lived on a little farm, so we would play on the riverbank. So the river, it was like always in drought, so there was never any water in the river.
Really?
So we would just play on the sand and like make jumps with our bikes and stuff like
that was fun.
Ride the horses, pick the mulberries from the trees. So at my grandparents' place, we had like specific shirts that we were allowed to wear to go and pick the berries off the tree, because we would get covered in the...
Of course,
so you would go in and get your special shirt on, go pick the berries, ride the horses. That's sort of what my childhood was like, and it was awesome.
That is so cool. And you entered the music world still in your childhood. At 13 was your first gig. Is that right? How was that?
So cool. Like, one of my very first gigs was actually out near Coonamble at a place called the Macquarie Marshes, and I was getting up to sing, and there was another artist there playing, and he actually like sort of forced me to play guitar on stage for the first time. And I was like saying, I'm going to play guitar on stage, but I like wasn't brave enough to do it. And he got up and introduced me and said, and she's going to play guitar. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I had to like bring my guitar up and play it. And I remember it just being like so scary, but I'm actually so glad that like somebody encouraged me and pushed me to do it, because I think that's the thing about music is like, if you want to be on stage, it's always going to be a nerve-wracking thing to get up there and do it for the first time. And I think anyone who would tell you otherwise would absolutely be, you know, lying, because you're putting yourself out there. Your voice is something that is like attached to your body. So it's not like if someone told you that they didn't like your guitar playing, well, you could probably get over that because it's not like a part of your body that you can't change. Yeah. So I feel like sharing your voice is like quite a scary thing.
Very vulnerable. And do you ever experience a twinge of nervousness even now, like before your shows?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think now it's like not so much nerves as in like I'm not confident in what I'm doing, but it's more just like that buzz of, oh, this is something new. We've never done this before. Or this is the biggest crowd we've ever played to. Or this is a town we've never visited. I think there's always like different types of nerves, obviously. Yeah. And I think, you know, if there's anyone listening who is a young songwriter or young singer and really wants to do this, I just think that like nerves, I've always channeled nerves as being something that is a good thing, because it's like if you're nervous, it probably means that you want to do a really good job, and wanting to do a really good job is a great trait to have.
I love that.
So I've always thought about that. I'm like, if I'm nervous, okay, I don't have to think about it as a bad thing. I can be like, okay, I'm nervous. I want to do well. I want to connect with these beautiful people who've, you know, maybe bought a ticket to come to the show and spent their Friday night to come out and get dressed up and have a drink and have a dance with us. Like, that's a good thing. So yeah, if anyone can channel that into positive, it feels a lot better.
I really love that, spinning it, and it's almost like now it's a fire under you. Like I want to do so good. Yeah. I love that. I'm going to apply that to my own life.
I do it with so many things. Like there's so many things in life that make me nervous, and I always think about, you know, I'll get up on stage in front of like 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people, that's easy. But for me to go and like ask for cutlery when I wasn't given cutlery, I've got to do the whole like rip it off like a Band-Aid and just do it. Like that seems ridiculous.
No, I find that too. Like I'll do like the red carpet interviews and like all of this and whatnot, and then I'm like, I have to ask for ketchup. No,
that is like me. I'm like just the little things, hey, and it seems ridiculous, but it's like anything in life. If you just rip it off like a Band-Aid and do it, you'll be much happier that you did, especially in the case of the ketchup.
Oh, yeah, exactly, because I love ketchup, obviously.
I love mustard, if there's any mustard fans
Oh, my gosh, yes, because some people, you're making a hot dog, what are you putting on it?
Like ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Because some people try to put relish on it, I'm like, don't do that.
Oh, see, I'm not in, is relish, is onion?
I think...
I don't know.
It's something. I think it's like a pickle.
It's a pickle. Okay, relish is a pickle on the...
I think.
Wow. So I don't think I like that.
Lot to think about.
I'm not into onion. I'll put that out there, which is probably going to get me in hot water with a lot of people.
That's okay.
I feel like it's probably a big part of like country life.
Honestly, it's surprising little things. You're like, oh my God. You'll say like, I don't like onions, and suddenly you've been canceled. You're like, crap, I guess I like onions.
And then someone will try to convince me at every show, oh no, but you'll like the onion here. Try the onion.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, I'm probably not.
I think maybe the onion thing stems from going to meet people after the show and then thinking like, I don't want to smell like onion when I'm speaking to everyone.
Sure,
and then everyone walk away and be like, oh, Max Jackson smells like onion.
Oh my God, that's my next clickbait title. Max Jackson is bald and smells like onion. Guys, what are we doing?
This is it. I can't take this hat off.
You really got to get your shit together, girl. I'm kidding. Okay, back to early life. Yes. Your influences, Dolly Parton and Shania Twain. Of course, big figures in the country music industry, and especially as female figures, like spearheaded so much stuff. I want you to tell me your favorite parts about Dolly and Shania.
My favorite part about both of them is songwriting. Like that, to the core of everything that I do, is just my favorite thing is words and the way you can spin them to connect with people. And I think that, you know, they're both very, very prolific songwriters. And obviously, like, when you look up their songs, it's always them on the writing credits. And there are artists who aren't like that, and that's totally cool as well. But I just think I always really connected to, I felt like what they were singing about was really honest and true and real. And that's what I always then wanted to do for myself. But I also love their outfits.
Of course.
As a kid, you know, and I've discovered this, like, the older I've gotten, is the artists that I'm really into are the ones that you could, like, dress as for Halloween.
I love that.
That's like
I love that. Yeah.
So I think I just loved, like, the way that everything about them came together. And I also think something that I really connected with them on was that I think they're really positive, like, energy people.
Absolutely.
So I think, you know, for me in my life, I wanted to always show up on stage and hopefully be somebody who could, you know, invoke a smile in people, and hopefully they can leave going like, oh, Max, I had a big smile on my face for all of Max's set, or I feel happier now after that, or whatever it is. And I think that's what really drew me to them. And then I feel like they're similar but very different, like artists, obviously very different times in country music as well. But yeah, I've always related to people like that. And it goes on, like it goes to Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
She's somebody who gives me the same feeling as those people do. And same as then, musically very different, but Casey Musgraves gives me the same feeling. So it's definitely those sort of artists. And, you know, I could go outside of country music. Alanis Morissette gives me that feeling.
Yeah.
So it's like a feeling connection thing of what they're saying is true, and they're also bringing a specific light and happiness to the world.
Absolutely. And I feel like especially women, definitely in the country music industry, and again, like outside of country music in particular, but with these examples in country music, having that trait where you can dress up as them for Halloween. I feel like women who are performers, their performance extends farther than the music to their outfits, the set, like everything feels so curated and so intentional. And I think that ties into the intentionality of their songwriting as well. I think that it's really admirable.
Oh, totally. And, you know, sometimes like my most, like I get frustrated at shows when I have to sit and get ready for like an hour longer than the boys in my band. But at the same time I go, well, how do I want to, you know, get up on stage and how do I want to present myself? And I think about the people that I've always looked up to, and they are people who've put a lot of energy into, one, their music, also the way that they look on stage and the way that they dress, and I guess curating something that is like very them.
Yeah.
So that has always been a big part of it for me. So I've got to constantly remind myself, oh, well, I tell the boys in the band to come and sit close and talk near me so that I can still do my makeup and not be left out.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that ritual of like getting ready before, it's very special. I like that you kind of include them in that.
Yeah.
That's very
I'm
sweet.
like, boys, come and talk to me, because I'm like, I don't want to be sitting here by myself, or I'll like put my headphones on and listen to something.
Yeah. And in addition to your influences, how have your roots growing up in a small town Australia influenced your songwriting as well?
Everything that I write about is about something specific from my life, or something that I'm craving now in my older life that I guess I had when I was like, growing up.
Yeah,
because I think I always go back to, you know, what were the core values that I grew up on? What were the things that I loved? What are the things that I miss now and wish I could do more of? And it definitely all stems back to a small town life, country upbringing, country values. That's really what my music is all about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think I could write the music that I write now without having lived the life that I lived. And, I mean, obviously now I have to live way closer to an airport.
Yeah. Hey.
Because, I mean, over the last year we've played over 120 shows.
Wow.
I think, so in different towns.
That is so exciting. That's like 2 shows a week.
It's so many shows.
Wow.
And it's so much travel, and, you know, that makes it a little bit harder. I think sometimes, you know, when you live then in like, I love where I live, but I can't live where I'm from because it's too far away from everything. So yeah, I guess I then draw upon the things that, you know, are in my mind that I remember about that stuff as well, and what I want to do now, and everything too. So I think my upbringing really influenced my music. And also I feel like I'm a pretty good vibe master of like if someone's singing about something that's real or if it's crap.
Yeah.
And I really, like, I just don't vibe with when people sing about something that they don't understand. Like,
yes,
I've heard a lot of people singing like small town songs, and I know they didn't grow up in a small town or have ever lived in one. And I'm like,
I know you're from Melbourne. I can tell, girl.
There's no point in doing that. Like, nobody needs to do that. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm cool because I grew up in a small town. It just so happens that I did. Yeah. And if I didn't, I wouldn't sing about it. So I just think that's really important, you know. Like, I think country music fans know better than something that's made up or just written because it's like, oh, that's trending at the moment. Let's write about small towns, or let's write about boots or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like one of like the core pillars of country music as a genre is authenticity, you know? Yeah. And so I feel like there is a big piece of that, the energy missing when you can tell like, oh, hey, did we just like, is this real or what?
Exactly. And I think that's something that, you know, I think particularly Australian country fans, like, you know how, I don't know, like, have you noticed this, how like Aussie people are like harder to crack at like first? Like, I feel like Aussie country fans are so much harder to crack than when I've been overseas. Like, because they'll be like, oh, you sing. Oh, sing for me, sort of thing. Ooh. And that, like, I'm sort of like that as a person too. Like, if someone says, oh, I'm really good at woodwork, I'm like, show me the woodwork.
Yeah, show me.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like an Aussie thing to be very like,
interesting.
Oh, so you're going to sing for us now. Okay, sing for us now and I'll give you my opinion.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. Because I don't sing. I don't do woodwork. If anyone wants to teach me woodwork, like, hit me up, because that sounds sick as fuck.
That was the most random thing. If anyone wants to build me a chicken coop, that'd be great.
Oh my gosh. I wish I could do that. But like, I feel, you know what? I do kind of resonate with that a little bit, like, especially like with what I'm studying. They're like, oh, like, what do you study? And I say entertainment business management. And they're like, oh, so tell me more. Like, but I'm like, oh, are you judging me? Do you hate me? Do you wish I was dead? Like, what is this? Yeah, I resonate with that.
I think there's something in Aussie culture where it's just sort of like, I don't know, people aren't just like won over at the very like first sight of something being good or whatever. Like, you've got to take your time with people getting to know you and whatever industry you're in. It's like, you know, whether it's a brand, people are like, oh, is that a scam?
Oh, gotcha.
And that's what I feel like is a big thing. And then it's like, oh, that's an artist. Oh, yeah, I liked their one song, but I'm going to give them maybe 3 more songs until I decide if I'm a fan for life or whatever.
Interesting. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting to hear from the perspective of an artist. Yeah, absolutely.
Like random, but I do think that's a thing.
Valid.
Whereas like when I went over to Nashville and played, I was getting out of the car and there was some fans sitting there and they were like, Max, like yelling at me. And I was thinking, they can't be yelling at me because I'm on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
They don't know who I am. Like, I'm nobody here. And I turned around and they were like, Max, we've come to see you because we saw you were a new artist and like we wanted to come and watch you perform today. Aww. And they were waiting to say hello to me.
Oh,
and I was
my
like,
word.
You guys don't even know if I'm the worst singer ever. But they were like, yeah, go girl.
Oh, that is so sweet to hear. Yeah, I feel like often I hear from Australians who've traveled to America, there's I don't know what the friendliness, for lack of a better word, I guess. There's another word that I'm looking for, like I think charisma or something.
I think they're very, very excited for new and like discovering new artists. I think that's a thing. And I think like Aussie country fans are the same as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think there's like a very special like excitement around new artists when I've been over to say CMA Fest, which has been really cool.
Yeah, and you've traveled, you've been to CMA Fest, Nashville, and LA. What was it and you did some writing trips there. Yeah. What was it like doing writing trips overseas?
Really cool, like just always a good experience. And I feel like when you go to another country, it's sort of like you're starting from, the bottom. Yeah. Like, which is obviously like when you build up things here and you've got stuff going on here, it doesn't really matter like when you go overseas. Yeah. So it's sort of, I always just am so grateful to anybody who will give me a chance, obviously, to jump into a writing room with them. And I've been really lucky to collaborate with people who have written massive hits. And I've now, made some friends over in the States who will sort of vouch for me and go, yeah, like she can write a song. You should definitely write with her, which has been really cool. But I think collaboration for me is like the number one thing that I love about writing music. Yeah. And I used to, when I was younger, I would just sit in my room, just me and my guitar. But I definitely prefer now to write with other people and to sort of throw the idea out there. And I love how sometimes you'll throw out an idea and it'll get like flipped on its head because you'll go into some deep conversation with the person about it. And then all of a sudden you'll, not shift your perspective, but just the idea of the song might take a little turn and it takes a turn for the better. And I love that. I think it's really cool. And I love collaborating with people who, I guess, live a similar life, but like in a completely different place. I think that's really cool as well, as connecting on something that feels like you would be such a different person, but there's so much to connect on and so much that's the same about writing country music no matter where I've been.
Yeah, and I think that particular element of it is so special, particularly in songwriting, because you both have such, like the core of it is a similar experience, but you being from this part of the world and someone else being from another part of the world, when you come together, you each bring your own unique perspective and flair to it, and it meshes together and becomes something really unique and special. Yeah,
absolutely. And then I always love trying to find like common ground of, say, words or phrases that work everywhere in the world. Yeah. Because that's like always an interesting thing when I've written songs in America, is that there's certain like sayings that we just don't naturally say. So it's like trying to find common ground to be able to say the same thing, but say it in like a universal way as well. That's always like a big challenge and something that I really do focus on doing in my music, because I definitely want anybody who finds my music anywhere in the world to be able to understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so interesting. So what do you think is the biggest lesson from writing overseas that you've taken away back home?
I really love how it's like a get in and get it done mentality. Because I feel like sometimes like when I was younger, I would just like think about a song for like a really long time and just like I'll spend 10 minutes doing it here and then I'll put it down and I'll pick it up the next day. Whereas like I really like how you go in and you've got like a 3 or 4 hour session and it's like, let's get the best song written that we can possibly get written in this time, and let's get it finished, and let's get a demo of it so that you've got like a recording of it and you walk away with a finished song. And I think that for me has really taught me like how to write faster and more efficiently in a short period of time. So that would probably be my favorite thing that I've learned.
Cool. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where like if you leave it too long and you keep coming back, you almost air quotes, ruin it. Like, and you don't want to do that. Sometimes your first take is your best.
I think sometimes you do. You take the magic out of it. Like, for example, when I wrote my song A Country Heart Can, I actually wrote it because we got a call about being on the Australian TV series Farmer Wants a Wife.
That's so
which
fun.
was like so fun. They called up, they're like, do you want to be the performer on the Country Ball episode of Farmer Wants a Wife? I'm like, of course I do. That is so cool. And I had to send in songs, and I was like, me just being psychotic overachiever. Why don't I write a song tonight and submit it as a special song like for the show?
Fun.
And so I sat in the hotel room. I was actually in Sydney that night because I was filming all this stuff for a festival coming up. And I sat down with my guitar over 2 hours, wrote this song called A Country Heart Can, me and my guitar, nobody else. And I put it down and I was like, I actually think that's not too bad. And I listened back the next day and I was like, I'm just going to include that.
Yeah.
Sent it in and they said, oh, if you want to submit it, it needs to be like a recorded. We need the full recording so we can hear how it would actually be sort of like on the show. And so I called up one of my mates who was in the studio and I said, can I steal a couple of hours in the studio to get this song put down? And we kept it pretty like bare bones, but I think it had like a certain kind of magic about it because I didn't overthink it. I was like, I'm just going to write it, record it, send it in. Oh, it's done. Now it's a single. It's out there in the world. Now I'm performing it on TV.
Yeah.
And I think, like quite a few people sort of said to me that that was their favourite song of mine. And I feel that feels crazy to me because I'm like, it's probably the song that I put not the least effort into, but the least overthinking into.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
I just did it.
Yeah, and it was perfect, and I feel like there's a reason they hired you for it.
Yeah, it felt special. Like it definitely felt special to have not only the TV opportunity, but also to like get a cool song out of it as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Win, right? Oh, that's so exciting. And hey, you've had a handful of wins in your career. I would love to talk about winning Toyota Star Maker 2022. What was that like?
It was so cool. So number one, I think the coolest thing about it is that it was not long after like we'd come out of a lot of lockdowns in Australia, like after that time that we all don't want to talk about and go back to ever. But, it was like right after a time where I felt just so uneasy and like, what is life going to be like? And like, are we going to be able to be back on stages? Are we going to be able to do all the things that I've been dreaming of doing for such a long time? And so I won in April 2022 and it was the only Tamworth festival to be like in April because it's always in January.
Right.
So it was like a weird one and they did it in April so that they could get the festival in and not miss it for a year because of the lockdowns. And so it was just like so exciting to be up on a massive stage performing in front of a really big crowd in Tamworth at the festival. And then to take out the win was just so cool. It's honestly the most amazing experience to, one, enter the competition in general, but two, to win it. The prizes are just crazy. Like I got a car and
that's
a fuel
right.
card for a year.
Hey, I'll take it.
Honestly, that Toyota of dreams, like it drove me to so many shows, like so many of my favorite moments that year because things just like from the day before I won to the day after, everyone knew who I was. Yeah. That was what it was like.
Yeah.
So, and then I got to play all these shows that were dream shows and release music and, I went over to CMA Fest for that and just, it was honestly like a year of huge dreams coming true.
Oh, that's so good.
And it also just like led to everything else that I'm doing now. It gave me that step up in that platform. I have people message me all the time and say, hey, I'm thinking of entering Star Maker. Should I do it? And I'm like, yes.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Nothing to lose, right?
What are you waiting for?
Get on it. Link in description.
I think it just closed.
Oh, never mind.
Next
Best
year.
of luck next year. Oh my gosh. And so you won the car. It took you all over the country. What was it like touring post-win?
It was great. It was so cool because just my music was heard by so many new people. Like people started to sing along to the words and do that whole thing.
Yeah.
And one of the first songs that I released was called Runnin', and it's like still a crowd favorite. We open every show with it now. We used to close every show with it. Now we open every show with it. And it's actually a song I wrote about like chasing dreams and going after the thing that you want in life. And so I feel like it just is the best like vibe setter for the show.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that year of playing shows and people starting to know the words and sing along, and they were excited for the next single and everything that followed was, so exciting.
Yeah. Do you find that having an award under your belt contributed to like your confidence in the industry?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, I wasn't doing anything different, as in, like, I wasn't writing better songs after or singing differently or anything, but I just had that nod and that support from the industry as well. Like, it gave me the confidence in, like you said, gave me the confidence in myself as an artist, because I'm like, oh, cool. Like, they, you know, I have a team of people who are believing in me and supporting me now. But also just to the industry in general, it was like, oh, this person won that big competition that people like Keith Urban and Lee Kernaghan and people like that have won in the past. So, yeah, it was definitely a very, very important part of my journey, and I'm just so glad that I put that application in and gave it my best shot.
Absolutely. Incredibly validating. And in addition to the award, you also had A Little More Country at number 1. Yes. Tell me about that.
Well, I always say that I had the number 1 song for 2 years, because I had it for the week before New Year's and the week after.
I like that.
It was for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, hey, no, 2 years.
It was 2 years.
On paper.
And yeah, it was really special. So that was my first. I signed with ABC Music and I signed with my management just a little before that as well, Stephen White Management. And that was a big goal of mine, to work with people who just really believe in country music and really believe in touring and getting out there as well. So that was the first song that we sort of all released as like a big team. And it has, like, that song, it's the song that just has new life, I feel, every week. Like, it still gets it's been added to like big radio shows in the UK. It inspired the whole series that I do across my social media where I make non-country songs a little more country. That's been seen by over 30 million people or something to this point. And I have people following me who say, when are you going to come to insert country? When are you going to come to insert town on the other side of the world? And I just can't be more grateful for that song and everything that has surrounded the song. Like, it just blows my mind to think that we sat down and we wrote that song. Like, I almost don't forget. I almost don't remember writing it.
Wow.
That's the weirdest thing. Is that, like, it felt really like easy to write and it just felt like it was meant to be. And then it was like the obvious single, and then everything that it's done from there has just been, number 1, really fun. Yeah. And number 2, successful and exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious, did the song come before the Instagram series or after?
The song came first.
Okay, gotcha.
So the Instagram series was like purely just an idea, because so in the lead up to every single coming out, I usually plan 2 weeks of, like, you know, posts just to let people know the song's coming, maybe tease little snippets, blah, blah, blah. And I was sort of like, as an artist, and this might be something that people have, like, thought about before, but you're always, like, asking for stuff. Like, you're always can you pre-save the song? Yeah. Come along to this festival, come along to this show. Like, you're always asking amazing country music fans, you know, for a lot, for them to support what you're doing. And I wanted to just, like, do something in that 2 weeks that was, like, me just, like, entertaining people and just having fun. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, what if I just we went out and we filmed 3, and we did Material Girl, we did Poker Face, and we did Paint It Black. And I remember when we put up, I think it was the Paint It Black video, and I hit post and I put my phone down and I came back and, like, my entire screen, like, my phone was, like, flashing like
ding,
that.
Ding, ding, ding.
And I was, like, scrolling through my page and there was, like, over 1 million views in, like, I'm talking 5 minutes.
Oh my God, that's insane.
It was insane.
Wow.
And there was, like, people going, this is so cool. This is a genius idea. And it wasn't a genius idea. Like, I purely did this because it was fun. And then they're saying, can you please do this song? Can you please do this song? Can you please do this song? Yeah. And, like, I actually just loved doing it because it was, like, one of the first things that I ever created on my social media that purely was just for entertainment. It actually wasn't, like, for asking for anything. Yeah. And I just found it, like, so fun to do that I was like, I'll just do more. Like, I'll do people's requests. Yeah. And I just started choosing songs, and, like, we would go out for a day and I might, like, do, like, 15 and then post them over the next couple of weeks. And we just had certain songs that took off, and Dancing Queen was one of them. And that's the song that we actually recorded an EP of them. That's right, it's a 5 full band, because I would just usually go out with my guitar by myself in a field with a cow mooing in the background. But we decided to get in the studio and do 5, and, like, that, it blows my mind. That song, you know, has been listened to all over, that cover version, of the song has been listened to all over the world. I just met people in in Nashville who were from Sweden, and they were like, "You're the dancing queen girl." I've never met them before.
That's so fun.
So, yeah, and they said that Bjorn from ABBA shared it in his Instagram story.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
That is so special.
That is like insane. So I just can't believe that from that like little idea. And I was like, I'll just keep doing them. People are entertained by this. And the funny thing is, you know, people love it or hate it. And they love to tell you either way.
Yeah.
So that's been a whole thing to like learn to deal with on the internet is like getting hate as well. Like, and I always just think about it like, because people always say, does it hurt your feelings? I saw there's some comments on there that are like not nice or whatever. And I sort of, at first I was like, oh, that person's mean. But then I was like, does anyone in my life who I would want to spend any time with, would any of those people ever go to someone's TikTok or Instagram video and write something like that? Well, then I don't really care what those people think because I wouldn't want to hang out with them.
No, I'm not trying to impress you. No, it's such a great way to look at it. And the first couple times it's so hard. It's so hard.
Like, everybody hates me.
Yeah, it's like it stings. And like like this isn't worth my time, but it's so hard to convince your heart for the longest time. But
totally. But when I think about any of my favorite artists, they're absolutely the sort of artists that people like will either love or hate, and that's okay. Yeah. And somebody, this is like something that somebody, Gina Jeffries actually taught me this as like a thing for my career. She was like, think of yourself as a jar of Vegemite. And she, random, think of yourself as a jar of Vegemite. Okay.
I'm tracking, I'm following,
and she said, well, a lot of people hate Vegemite, but it's still a multi-million-dollar company and a lot of people love it. Yeah. So it's just like, some people are going to hate your videos. Some people are going to love them. Yeah. It's you've just got to learn to be okay with that.
Exactly. You got to learn to be okay with that. And in the moments that you read a hate comment and they're like, you're lame, you just got to hold your golden guitar close to your chest and you're like, I'm not lame. I have physical evidence that I'm not lame.
That's it. Like,
exactly.
I'm doing okay.
I'm doing plenty fine. Absolutely. Did you, so after finding success in the industry on social media and entering into having a career that you have management and you're with ABC, what was it like finding yourself in management? Because I feel like that is such a pinnacle of or a step into someone's like professional career.
It was so exciting to finally have people I could bounce ideas off and just go to and be like, I want to do this thing, or I want to play this festival, or I want to play this town. What do you guys think? And we would have a conversation about it. Sort of like for me as an artist, like there's a lot of artists out there who will be independent for their entire career because that's something that is, you know, really important to them, or maybe they're self-managed and all of those things. And I totally respect like whatever is right for every individual artist and whatever feels right for them is the right thing to do. But for me, it was like, there were certain parts of the industry that I knew I was really good at. I was really good at like getting up on stage. I was good at writing the songs. I was good at connecting with people and I was good at the social media, but I wasn't good at like quoting for a festival.
It's so foreign. Like it's so strange.
Yeah, I wasn't like good at saying I want this much money. So it was just, you know, and there was other parts of the industry that I just didn't know enough about. And I knew that the next step in my career was to get people on my team who, number one, really believed in what I was doing, and number two, knew about all the things that I didn't know about. And so I was very specific when I went for the managers that I wanted to go for and the record label that I wanted to go for. And that was because they were people who were really hardworking, who shared the same values as me. And also, like I mentioned before, like it was a big part of what I wanted to do was touring. So I wanted to work with, you know, managers and a record label who were very much into making this a thing that is all about playing live and getting, you know, as far and wide as we possibly can. So that was like a big goal for me. And I was lucky that the people that I wanted to work with me as well, which was super exciting. That was just one of the main things, that they were keen and I was keen, and we were like, let's do this and let's make it as great as we can.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you pretty much jumped right into touring and suddenly had access to this dream of touring all over the country and the world as well. When you are touring with others versus when you're touring on your own, just a headline, of course they're going to be different. What are your favorite parts of doing both?
So my favorite part of being an opening act is like just being along for the ride. I think like that is the cool thing about being an opening act is like you get to like go out and you get to make sure that the crowd are ready and, you know, excited for the headline act that's coming on. And I've always been really aware of that, like that this is not my show, but what I'm here to do is to go out and win people over and set the vibe for the show and make sure that they're like so ready and close to the stage so that when the headline act comes on, they're ready to go.
They're warm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And I love a challenge. I think always being like an opening act is a little bit of a challenge because like people aren't sometimes they're there to see you, but sometimes they're not there to see you. They're there to see the headline act. So I love coming out and you know, trying to win people over and connect with people and all of that. So that's probably and I just love the time in the van. We actually have so much fun in the
can
van.
imagine that's really fun.
There's like so many games that we play and just things to like, you know, sometimes you're traveling late or really early or they're like super long days. And so we have like go-to things that we like play in the van or like, you know, certain just jokes and stuff that we pull out when everyone's really tired. Sometimes my bass player, he'll like pull out poetry and just read it in like a really funny voice. When we're like just driving along the other night, he was reciting poetry, or he'll sometimes pull out like country songs but he'll read them like poetry, and it's really I don't know, it's like so niche and it sort of had to be there, but it's very very funny. And then for my headlining shows, I just love being able to create like a moment in people's lives. I think that's like a big thing because every show is a very special moment in my life, but I love being able to, from like the moment that they walk through the door, I've chosen the music that's playing, like on the background music.
Okay,
you know
cool.
what I mean? So like my husband and I, we work on everything together and we make the playlist. So every bit of like background music that you're hearing when you walk in the door, you're hearing because we curated it and we want to get you into the right vibe before the opening act comes out. And I love being able to choose opening acts. So that's like another thing too, because I love being able to give to somebody else what, you know, the Wolf Brothers gave to me and what other artists have given to me in the past. So love choosing the opening act and hanging out with them backstage and stuff as well and getting to know them and giving them a stage. And I just love from the moment I walk on to the moment I walk off, I'm like, I wish this could go longer.
Yeah.
I really love it. Like, I don't know. I don't think you could be in this industry for very long unless you love every minute of it. Because like there's some days that are so long. Sometimes we leave the house at 3 a.m. and like we'll hit stage at 9 p.m.
Dang.
And we haven't. And sometimes like the hotel rooms won't be ready to get into before we go to sound check. So we'll just like spend all day like in the van or in the backstage area, and there might not even be like seats to sit down on, and we'll just be like laying on the floor.
Oh my word.
Have to pick ourselves up and start again. But I've never ever felt too tired to go on stage because that adrenaline like hits and I'm so excited to get up there.
Yeah. Oh, that's when you are doing what you love, it stops being a chore, you know?
It is the best.
Yeah.
And I pinch myself every time we get to go on stage and every time, you know, we get to play to more people. Like we have so many exciting festivals coming up that I just cannot wait to play. Like we're playing at Denny Ute Master, we're playing at Groundwater Country Music Festival, Savannah in the Round, South by Southwest in Sydney. This is all in October. We're playing at the Bend in Adelaide and we're going to be playing, you know, potentially to more people than we've ever played in front of like in our whole career in a month.
Wow. Oh, that is so exciting.
So that is so exciting.
Yeah.
And then being able to play my own tour shows and everything, like it is, the shows are very different. I feel like when you come to the festival, you sort of like, when you play at a festival, you don't get as much time to maybe like chill out between the songs and like talk to the crowd. So I would always say like, if people have seen you at a festival, or if I've seen my favorite artist at a festival, I feel like it's very different to then go see them at their own show. Like I feel like you get a bit more time at the headline shows as well. So I feel like the shows we put on are the same energy, but like a bit different, depending what we're doing. So we just love all of the above and everything in between.
Oh, that is so exciting. I'm totally going to come see you at South by Southwest in Sydney.
It's going to be so fun.
It's my first South by Southwest that I'm going to. So
so good. It's going to be great.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, that is so exciting. So in terms of like the future, you have all these festivals and touring lined up. Do you have any other like big sky dreaming, like any international ambitions or?
I want to get as far and wide as I possibly can. Like honestly, my following is like from everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't like when I look on there, it is so evenly split between like particularly Australia, the United States and the UK. Like there is just people everywhere.
Yeah.
So I find that like anxiety inducing sometimes that I'm like, I just want to get to see as many people as I possibly can. But that's obviously like a very expensive thing to do, number one. Yeah. A very logistically hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And I just want to do it like as much as we possibly can. So definitely over the next like couple years is international, like splashing into international markets as much as we possibly can. That's my biggest goal. And just to do as much touring around Australia to as many places we haven't visited as we possibly can. Like there's so many, I would say we've been to like 20% of Australia.
Dang, yeah, it's a huge country.
It's a huge country.
So many people.
Everything is so far away.
Yeah, it's like
that's the only hard thing is we can't do it in a van. We have to fly a lot, which makes it a little bit harder because then we can't bring all of the things with us that we can when we drive. So there's always logistical things hoops that we're jumping through, but you know we're trying to just jump through as many of them as we can and get to as many places as we can. That's the biggest goal. And also, I really want to release an album.
That was my next question. 2026. Any new music coming out?
Yeah, absolutely. There will be an album.
Awesome. Oh, absolutely. That's so exciting.
Like, I'm about to get in the studio and finish it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. Without spoiling too much, if you could pick one word to describe your album, what would you pick?
Electric.
Electric. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm tying that to the sparkly outfits like you were mentioning earlier, and it's all coming together.
that is exactly how I would explain it. It's just like I've always wanted to release a collection of music that is like a bang.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. That's really exciting. Well, everyone,
there ain't no trying to be cool here. Like we're just trying to be like,
yeah, just put it all out there. I'm going to take this opportunity to say, everyone go follow Max Jackson so you can be in the loop when that electricity is released out into the world. If you could have one like dream collaboration, dead or alive, who would you pick?
Like the easiest answer is Dolly.
Of course.
Like that's just
naturally
the first person who comes to mind. I'm trying to be like less obvious. Do you know I'm a massive like 70s music fan, like outside of country music, and one of my favorite like records to play, or like you know when you put music on in the morning and you want it to just be like good vibe.
Absolutely.
I always listen to The Best of Bread. And it's like one of my favorite.
And who's that by?
Bread is the band.
Best by Bread.
So like Bread is the band.
Okay.
And then it's the best of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like the best
I'm
of
following.
Bread.
Cool. I've never heard of them before.
I would just do like a 70s, like, I don't know, euphoric, like singer-songwritery.
That's so cool.
Mostly Dolly Parton, but
absolutely.
Then Bread.
I'm totally going to check out Bread. What a hilarious band name. I really like that.
I really think you should listen to it like while you're having breakfast.
I will. Yeah. I will. Tomorrow I will.
I'm a big music curator. I'm like, there's certain music that you can't listen to like when you're going to go out.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. You don't want to listen to Bread like when you're going to go out for the night.
Okay. I'll keep it for the AM.
Yeah,
eat my cereal.
Yeah, and like if you can get it on record, even better.
Okay. Oh, it's got the little cracklets.
Like the crackles will make it perfect.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Oh, so good.
That's so cool. Do you have a record player?
We actually don't have a record player, but we have a lot of records. But I'm actually so excited because my husband Jeremy and I have just bought a house.
Congratulations!
Like
that's a big deal.
We're about to move in. Yeah,
huge.
So it's going to be our first like house that we can make how we want to have it. And I think a very big part of what we want to have is a record player.
Oh, absolutely.
Great speakers so that we can, number one, listen to records, but number two, test out new mixes and listen like on really great speakers. So that's going to be my next. That's like my online shopping addiction right now is figuring out what record player I should get. So if anyone has a suggestion.
Comment down below. Oh, that's so huge. That's so exciting. Listening to music on great speakers makes such a difference and you don't even know until you do it and you're like, whoa. Yeah.
Totally. And I think even having like really great speakers, but then if it's like a record that has lots of crackles, it'll just give it more vibe.
Yeah, it's just ambiance. It's just vibe. It's just vibe. I'm not even picky about how good, like how many crackles. Just like if it's just 24 hours of crackle sounds, trust, I'm listening to it.
I actually love that like a lot of artists are bringing out their records, like their albums on records now as well. It's just like a cool collection to have. Like,
absolutely.
To just, if you've got a favorite artist and you don't even have a record player, I'm all about buying the record anyway.
Yeah.
Buy the vinyl.
Absolutely.
Do it.
It's like, do it. It's like, it's such a great, it's a great option for merch. Do you think you'll ever press your album?
I want to. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
like
cool.
a big goal. I've seen like, and then you can choose like the color
and the marble.
Vinyl. Is it like see-through?
Yeah.
Is it sparkly? I think I want mine to be sparkly.
That would be so cool. Okay, well, obviously add to cart. Obviously, I'm buying it. So for this particular album that is coming out, do you have any singles planned for it?
I do.
Yeah.
So some of the songs that I've already released will be on it, which is exciting. But I'm also picking and choosing, so some won't be on it because I'm curating it to be like the album of my life.
Yes.
But there is a new song that has just come out that will absolutely be a part of the album, and it's called 1990 Somethin.
I love it.
And so being a 90s baby myself, like that's the country music that I grew up on. But I actually wrote the idea for this song down while I was standing side stage at CMC Rocks while Zach Top was playing in March.
Wow,
so I was like lucky enough to like sneak up onto the side of the stage. I was like security guard straight past. And then I was watching Zach Top from the side, and it felt like for a minute, like everyone put their phones away and were just like in the moment. And because obviously his music is like so 90s, it just took me back to all of the music that I grew up on that really shaped me as an artist. And I was like, oh, it kind of feels like right now, like it's 1990. And then I got in the car and I was telling my husband about it, and he's like, oh, what if you called it like 1990 something? And then I called up my co-writers, Nick Wolf and Kylie Sackley, and I'm like, we need to write a song called 1990 something about, you know, wanting it to, how it sort of feels like that right now in country music. So it's not so much like I want to go back to 1990. It's like how right now feels like that, I guess that massive like wave that they would have had in the 90s, you know, where country music sort of like blew up again. And it sort of feels like that right now. So that's what it's all about. And if you love your 90s music, definitely check it out because I think you'll vibe.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Everyone go listen to it right now. And in addition to that, while you're over there, follow Max Jackson on Instagram, TikTok. We got Spotify, we got Apple Music, we got everything, right?
All the things. I'm everywhere, and I would love to meet you at a show. So hopefully I'll get to do that too.
Exactly. And you literally have no excuse because she's going to be everywhere.
Everywhere. All the time.
Exactly. And extra no excuse because if you DM her, she will come to you. So
I will actually write back as well. That is like a big thing. I really try to get back to as many people as I can in my DM. So if you want to message me and tell me where to come to on tour, please do, because I actually love it. And you're not annoying me. Sometimes people go, oh, I was going to message you like 2 years ago, but I didn't because I didn't want to annoy you. I'm like, this is going to annoy me. I love you. Please message me.
Amazing. Y'all, you heard it here first, everyone. Amazing. Well, Max Jackson, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Liv. Thank you so much for having me. And like I said, it's just been really cool to meet you. Thank you for loving country music as much as you do because it's so cool.
Oh my gosh, you're so cool. What the hell? Yeah, amazing. And yeah, just thank you for coming all the way here and like believing in this, and it's great.
Oh my gosh, I do. And hopefully we'll get to catch up again soon.
Absolutely.
And we'll have all new stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for your album. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.